athletes and not athletes. I think that in your example that you gave about him playing tennis and it'd be terrible, but you could pick up a tennis racket and be okay.
Yeah.
I think the difference is for athletes, if an athlete played tennis for a year, he would kick our fucking ass.
He wouldn't. This guy, nah. He would literally knock himself out with the tennis racket.
The first time, but give that dude some time. Like, give a good athlete some time to actually learn how to play. Their ceiling, I guess what I'm trying to say, an athlete's ceiling in a sport is higher than ours.
I don't buy it. You give me the same amount of time, why can't I be fucking great?
Because you're limited in your athleticism.
It's tennis.
I know. Hey, tennis is serious. If anybody has respect for tennis, it should be you. Nobody pays more attention to tennis on earth than you.
I saw one today. They were playing literally on fucking like concrete. The fucking like usually it's like the French Open has blue court, the
right
Aussie Open has clay, and they were playing on fucking concrete, like legit concrete.
Like asphalt, like they're gonna like step on some tiny rocks.
Yeah,
shit.
like they were aiming for cracks for different spins.
How much did you win?
I lost. It was plus 800.
All right, well, let's get on with this because we've got some seriously weird shit happening with connections and microphones and stuff. So, hello, everybody, and welcome to a Super Bowl edition of the board meeting presented by Team Hammercock. I'm very excited about this show. Very excited about this show. I'm Zach. We have Dr. Locks right here. We were missing Mr. Hammercock. Mr. Hammercock had apparently some very important business that pulled him away from the podcast. He sends his regards though, and we do have his picks.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, happy Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Jared.
Happy Super Bowl.
It's a bittersweet, man. It's a bittersweet week, I think, because I mean, it's the best game. I'll think that we have an unbelievable matchup here, but it's also the last fucking game of the season.
It's kind of depressing.
We're without football. I didn't know what to do with myself this past weekend, honestly.
It was rough. At least golf's starting up for you.
Right?
I enjoy some college basketball. UFC is always on, which is great.
Right.
But we'll make do. We always do.
We'll find something. College basketball's heating up. March Madness is coming. We got opening day coming up in a month and a half. Pitchers and catchers report at least for the Rangers coming up next week.
Yeah.
So, hey, before I forget, this again, special Super Bowl edition of the board meeting presented by Team Hammercock. We also have a special sponsor tonight, Jared. Latchkey. I
love Latchkey.
The number one, my most favorite bar has asked if they could be a sponsor for this episode. Absolutely said yes. I'm pumped to have them as a sponsor. Anybody that ever goes to Austin, make sure you go over on East 6th and go check out Latchkey. So thanks Latch for being a good partner.
And mention
mention
Team Hammercock and you get a free shot, I heard, right?
Mention Team Hammercock and you'll say, hey, Team Hammercock sent me. If you say Team Hammercock sent me, I guarantee you'll get hooked up. I guarantee it.
For sure.
So Jared, let's get rolling, man. It's going to be a little bit of a different show, I think, because there's no reason for us to recap. I don't think the AFC and NFC championship game.
It's
already happened.
There is one reason to recap on the scores.
What's that?
On our huge Vegas.
That's fair.
Our competition we have.
Yeah. Do you have the scores?
Yes, I'm winning and y'all are trying to cheat. It's bullshit. That's all I know.
By how the tides have turned, I believe this entire thing started with you cheating. So you have 6 points. David and I each have 5 points.
Correct.
So basically, this is anybody's game.
Yeah. No. That's the name of the game. Is I win.
Well, we'll see about that.
When is Vegas? Can we talk about that?
I'm free in April and early part of May. And early part of June and early part of July.
I'd like early part of April because that's March Madness.
Okay.
That would be a lot of fun.
Like go to yeah, oh, I'm fine with that. All right, so we'll go in April.
And I think some of the viewers are gonna come they wanna tag along as well. Some of our listeners, they're like, "Hey," they're kinda like groupies, like, they just wanna hang out with us.
Well, groupies may not be the right term. Fans.
Groupies.
I have a little bit more respect for our fans than to call them groupies.
Well, fans.
We we gotta edit all this out. I'm just kidding. Anyways, Jared, let's get into it, man.
Let's do it.
Do you wanna start? Or do you want me to start?
I'll start.
Well, just go like this. So what are your just overall thoughts on the game, right? Are you excited about this matchup? Do you think it's a good matchup? Do you think it's gonna be a close game? I mean, just what do you think about overall about what's your excitement level for this specific Super Bowl?
I think this game is a great, great matchup. You have a ton of talented players on the 49ers, skill positions, defensive ends, just studs all over the place. And then you're playing against the best player in football. So I think that's really exciting, knowing that, you're can this one man essentially beat a bunch of talent? I think he's gonna have to play great football, near flawless football. They're gonna have to be able to run the ball. They're gonna have to be able to block the 2 defensive ends. I think if he gets pressure, they're gonna be in a lot of trouble. But I think if he can sit back there and kinda dice them up, I've always thought that the Niners secondary has been pretty questionable.
For
You're
sure.
able to run against him. Pacheco runs like a madman. He's so much fun to watch. He's probably my new favorite running back to watch.
He's great. He's great. He's great to watch. I don't know how great of a running back he is, but nobody runs harder
Yeah.
with more passion than him.
And
That dude's unbelievable.
and watching the Chiefs defense who just they don't give up big plays. Like, all right, is Brock Purdy gonna be able to march down the field without turning over the ball and, beat this great Chiefs defense? They have two of the best corners in the league. They have Chris Jones up front. I don't there's not too many injuries. I know the defensive end for the Chiefs, he's out, but I think it's a really good matchup. A really, really good, sound, 2 great coaches. I'm excited about this matchup.
I agree with everything you said. I think this matchup's gonna be fantastic. I think at the beginning of the playoffs, this is probably the best matchup that you could hope for, I would think. Best marquee matchup. Anytime you get the best quarterback in the league, best quarterback of the last 15, 20 years playing in the Super Bowl, it's gonna be a damn good matchup. Look, it's the best team in the NFC going up against the most dominant team of since really since the Patriots last dynasty
Mhm.
run. I mean that's pretty great. As far as the game itself goes, I'll just come. I mean, do you want to give you my pick now,
Yeah,
or do you want
let's go.
to? I'm all over the Chiefs. I oh, as soon as the games ended 2 Sundays ago, I was on the Chiefs. I bet the Chiefs. Saw it was +2. We're going working off a +2 line. I haven't looked at the line today, but we'll work off +2. But the line I think is inconsequential in this game. You're really picking who's going to win the game, right? I think I did waver a little bit the last 4 or 5 days thinking, like, "What am I missing? Like, why?" Well, maybe the Niners are the right place. A guy I really respect, he has a massive play on the Niners, so that gave me a little bit of pause. But sitting down really today and thinking about this, and think I just don't think the Niners are gonna win, honestly. What the Chiefs do really well is slow down the pass. They are one of, I think, top 6 or top 7 teams in the league in yards per attempt given up, yards per attempt, and completion percentage. And yes, Purdy is one of the league leaders in completion percentage, but he hasn't faced a defense like this, honestly. Right. And so I really do think that they will be able to shut down the Niners passing game. If, but if CMC beats you, fine. But you know what? When was the last time a great running back was the reason a Super Bowl team or what team won the Super Bowl?
Terrell
Doesn't
Davis.
happen. Doesn't happen anymore. No, exactly. It just doesn't happen anymore. So I think that if the Niners are able to slow down Purdy and slow down that passing game, I think they run away with the game. I really do. I think the Chiefs can win. I don't know. Let's call it 34-21.
Wow.
You know, and then you go back and you look who had the tougher route to get to the Super Bowl. There's no doubt the Chiefs beat the better teams to get here, right? Going into Buffalo, beating Buffalo. Going into Baltimore, beating Baltimore. And what have the Niners done? They scored with a minute left to beat a very mediocre Green Bay team. And they had one of the biggest comebacks in playoff history to beat a super young and inexperienced Detroit Lions team. The Chiefs are battle tested. They've got the better defense. They've got the best quarterback, and I think they win in a landslide.
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting.
Now you're going to tell me that this is exactly who you have too,
So you think that the Chiefs have a better defense than the 49ers?
by far,
Really?
by far, yeah. Like I said, they haven't given up 30 points all season.
Yeah.
They haven't given up 30 points in a game all year, and when it's mattered, they've stepped up. Look, the Chiefs have more sacks. They have 9 or 10 more sacks on the season than the Niners. They give up fewer pass. They give up quarterbacks complete fewer passes against them than the Niners give up on defense. Now they're not as good against the run. I think C-Mac's going to have a big game. He's going to have a big game. But I think the things that the Niners do best, the Chiefs do better.
Well said. Well said. And with all that being said, I'm going to take the Niners minus
Are you
10.5.
really?
Yeah. I just think that, and listen, Patrick Mahomes is playing out of his mind. He hasn't turned the ball over in 6 straight playoff games. Purdy, if he has to sit in the pocket and throw it over the middle, I feel like he's so gun shy. But I just think that Christian McCaffrey is the X factor of this game. I think they're gonna lean heavily on him. Him and Debo, I think those two are gonna have huge games. I do think, and I really like the Chiefs, and it's so hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes. You never feel good betting against Patrick Mahomes. Like, it
Right.
doesn't matter what the situation is, he just always prevails. But I think they're gonna get pressure on him. The 2 tackles they have are 1 and 3 and offensive holding calls this year and offensive penalties this year. Last week, they scored 3 points in the second half against Baltimore. They didn't look great against Buffalo. They got they played a nasty, nasty game versus Miami in bad conditions. Like, they really haven't impressed anyone yet. Like, I
But
don't see, like, this isn't the old Chiefs offense who just had wide open receivers running down the field. Like, who are you scared of on this offense besides Patrick Mahomes?
I think that's all you need, though. I mean, you can't say that the Niners have been impressive. What's their most impressive? Like, what have they could have very easily lost both of the games they played this
Mhm.
in the postseason. Whereas the Chiefs, the 3 games they played, they were never in doubt. None of those games were in doubt. So that's what when I look at a team and they don't play that well and they still win without having any sort of issues, that's a damn good team. And it all goes back to Mahomes.
Yeah, but I also think when the Niners need to score, they score. Like, when they
Well, that's the Chiefs too. I think that's the Chiefs' problem. I think it's You mentioned that the Chiefs only scored 3 points in the second half. They didn't have to score more than 3.
Well, I mean, it's not like they're not trying to score, Zach.
No, but they're trying to run down. Well, why would you say that when the Niners need to score, they can? That's saying that at some point they don't need to score?
No, they were turning the ball over, but I'm saying crucial moments, I think they're able to score at will. They have the talent they have, Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, Christian McCaffrey. You can't name these guys. These are all explosive players. The
No doubt.
Chiefs do not have
100%.
these guys. They have to methodically
100%.
move the ball down the field, you know, throwing it to Watson or McCole Hardman and all these like random guys. Can you really trust these guys? You can trust Patty back there,
I
number 15, but
That's the thing.
yeah.
That's the thing. I mean,
I just
who was it?
I think I just think that the athletes and the playmakers is just it's gonna be too much for him, in my opinion. So
It's interesting.
yeah.
So you don't think that their defense is gonna Okay, what's your final score? Give me a prediction.
I'm gonna say 27-24.
20, so close game.
Very close game.
You know what else is interesting too? I heard somebody say the other day on a podcast that the over under, I don't know what the over under is on this game, but there's only been 2 games in the last like 15 years, 2 Super Bowls last 15 years that had an over under less than 47.
Really?
Mhm. You know what else is interesting? I also heard the last 10 Super Bowls. That can't be right. Last 5 Super Bowl? I think it was the last 5 Super Bowls. The head coaches on both sides have been offensive coaches. There has not been a defensive
Oh, I have
head
heard
coach
that.
make the Super
I
Bowl.
ha
I think it's
heard
5
that.
years. It's
Offensively.
pretty interesting. It's an offensive league, and I just if I'm going down betting on the best quarterback of
Oh,
the last 20 years.
I'm with you. He's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Like, I just don't think that if I can sit there on Sunday afternoon, if I was a Niners backer. Oh, let me back up. I don't think I can sit there on Sunday afternoon. Let's say the Chiefs are getting their ass whooped. I don't think I'd ever sit there and say, "Man, I can't believe I bet on Patrick Mahomes.
Mhm.
Why would I have bet on Patrick Mahomes?" If you're a Niners backer and the Chiefs are up 14, every single person is gonna say, "Why did I bet on Brock
Or
Purdy?"
why did I bet against Patrick Mahomes?
Or "Why did I bet against Patrick Mahomes?" And that right there is a reason enough for
Yeah.
me. I know you're big into public percentages.
Mhm.
Have you looked? Do you know what it
Oh,
is?
yeah. It's heavy on the Chiefs.
It's heavy Chiefs. That
Heavy,
makes
heavy
sense.
Chiefs. Yeah. I do have a few prop
What?
bets that I like, and I want you to see what you think.
I wanna hear it. I got one prop bet that I like.
Okay. Well,
Go
I have
ahead.
3. Okay. My first,
Let's
and
hear it. I love
I've
it.
been like scanning.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before you go there, before you
Oh,
go,
David's
I do
picks.
wanna get
Hammer
I
picks.
do wanna get Dave's picks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So David for his official picks is he has the San Francisco 49ers.
Smart man.
Once again, it's me against the world.
Smart
So
man.
really so really, at the end of the day, it's either gonna be me, you, or David that is gonna win the entire thing.
We got this.
We got this. Alright, prop bets.
All right. I got 3.
Hit me.
First one. And like I said, I've been scanning hard, like all the different categories and just random. So these are the 3 that I really like. I think I can remember all 3. My first one, which is my favorite, is Rashid Rice under 9.5 yards on his first catch. They throw?
Under 9.5 yards on his first catch.
Yes. So,
That's fun.
yeah. So they throw a bunch of screens to him, just like,
Mhm.
some crossing routes. But the good thing is that the Niners live in their zone defense. So it's not like he's going to be running scot free and just like beat the DB covering him. Like he's going to have to make people miss. And the Niners defense, they don't miss tackles. Like
That's sure. That's very fair.
they are great tacklers, and I don't think all he does is just run these little screens and quick little hitches and crossing routes. I don't think he's gonna have to work to get those 10 yards. That's
That's fair. I like that bet. That's a fun bet.
yes, exactly. And you'll find out quick, you
That's a
know?
fun bet. That's a
Second,
very
I
fun bet.
like Kyle Juszczyk over 3.5 receiving yards.
I love that bet. I can't believe it's that
You
small.
know what's really nuts is Kyle Juszczyk over a half reception is minus 220. How does that make any
So
sense?
what do they think he's gonna do? Catch a little 2 yard. What do they think he's gonna do?
I don't get it. Every pass that he's caught this year has been over 4 yards. Every pass.
That
Now, will he get a pass? Will he catch a ball?
right,
I mean, that's what you're banking on, but he's always on the field. He,
right.
they Purdy loves to scramble and Juszczyk can just, skirt down a sideline or just sit in an open void in the zone defense. I think that is a very good play. Over 3.5 receiving yards.
Love it.
Lastly, under everything that McCole Hardman is on. I mean,
Yes.
everything. I
100%.
want to say he played 12 snaps last game, and
He didn't play at all in the first half.
he ran one route, one,
Yeah.
one
No,
single route.
he's not.
Everything under for McCole Hardman.
I'm
Catches,
right there with you.
yards, and also another one that was pretty juicy was Valdez Scanling over 11.5 yards for his longest reception. Who else are they going to throw deep to? Rasheed Rice is underneath. Kelsey, he's over the middle. There's no seam routes for him. He's not catching any skinny posts down the middle. Who's going to stretch the field? McCole Harmon doesn't play. Fucking Tony, he might be out of the league come Saturday before the Super Bowl. Like someone has to stretch the field. Patrick
But
loves
who's
pushing it
Tony?
down the field, huh?
Who's Tony?
Can
Oh,
Tony? Exactly, him.
I was thinking like Tony's like some Italian dude
Tony.
that they just signed. Like, hey, they throw the ball to Tony.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is Tony?
Can
There proves your point.
Kendarius Tony. Is that his name? Kendarius?
Kadarius, yeah.
Kadarius. Yeah. So those are my four. Lock them in.
Lock him in. The only thing I don't have anything that fun, honestly. The only thing I have is Kittle over 3.5 receptions. I think that's a lock. The problem
Wait,
is I think that's
no.
gonna be
Three and a
I
half?
think it's gonna be it's what it opened as. I don't know what it is
There's
now,
no
but I know it
way it
opened at
opened at
3.5.
3.5.
It did. I was just looking. That's why I was looking at my
Zero
phone.
chance.
Over 3.5,
First half.
minus 160. Juiced up is minus 160.
3.5, Zach. It's not 3.5. I hate to argue with you.
I'm telling
Zach,
I'm
that's
telling you, that's what
impossible.
it opened at. I promise you. I promise you.
Maybe six and a
Pull it up.
half.
I'm telling you.
If
Let's
that's
see. I'll
right,
pull it up
I'm
too.
Venmoing you 5 grand to put on it. Where?
I'm looking right now too. Is this fun? Everybody having fun looking at us look at our phone?
That's okay. This is important.
This is important. Receiving receptions. Kittle 4. It's 4 flat
You
is minus
said
182.
Kelsey.
No, I said Kittle.
You said Kelsey.
I said Kittle for sure.
No, I promise.
We'll play it back. We'll play it back. The only thing I have is Kittle over 3.5 receptions. Kittle, 100%. Kittle over 3.5. Now it's juiced up to 4. Now it's up to 4, and it's 4 minus 182. So
Dang,
that might be a little
182. That's juicy. But that's a
and you got
great bet.
but you gotta get to 5 though. I like it way better at 3.5 than I do at 4.
Yeah.
So,
That's a good play.
that's I heard somebody say something interesting the other day that was I thought was very interesting that the before Super Bowl props usually didn't come out until like the week of, right? You never got really good player props throughout the season at all. Really, the only good player props you got was the week of the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
But now
With all the luck.
everything online and DraftKings and everybody else has been releasing these prop bets, and Underdog, all the different apps have been releasing these prop bets for all season.
Mhm.
And now the props have come out. And if you didn't jump on some of the ones that you liked immediately, they're gone. You're not going to be able to bet. Like I can't bet. I'm not going to bet Kittle over 4 minus 182.
Mhm.
That's a crazy bet to me.
Yeah.
But anyways, another thing I just want real quick before I want to point out a way that one thing that I like to do with my bets. If there's a game I really like and it's farther down, like the NFL game, right? So I know that I like the Chiefs plus 2. I will put the Chiefs plus 2 in round robin parlays all week long
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
NBA games, with NBA games, with college basketball games, with hockey game, whatever it may be. I'll throw them in a bunch of round robins. And the good thing about that is, let's say I have 25 round robins live on Sunday. I'm now getting Chiefs plus 2 at like plus 350,
Yeah.
plus 375. And what that does is it allows you to hedge out of your initial round robin investment on the Niners money line
Mhm.
and hope for that really tiny middle. It's a better bet, I would say, if it's more fun, I would say, if it's over, it's 3.5 or 4 or even plus 5, because you do have a pretty good chance of getting a middle. But even then, I think that's something to look at. We'll probably put this out on Saturday. So if you like the Chiefs or if you like the Niners, whatever side you like, throw them in some round robins on Saturday and Sunday leading up to the Super Bowl, and then you can get some serious plus on your
Mhm.
bet there.
Yeah, I like that. Talking about some
Uh,
plus, why don't we have UFC this weekend? I've been pretty hot in UFC lately. No, that wasn't even real UFC. That was like some bullshit. Actually, that wasn't UFC. That was Road to the UFC. And yeah, I was a little off on that.
you know what? None of us even saw it, so I proved that it even happened.
Yeah, exactly. But I have a big underdog this weekend, Miss Bruna Brazil,
That's a fake name.
plus
You're
225.
Bruna Brazil plus 225.
Yes, plus 225. I want to say she has like 8-inch reach advantage over the girl she's fighting. She loves kicking. She's gonna keep this little girl away from her. It's it's um it's gonna be a good fight.
Wins the fight Saturday?
Saturday. Add to your round robin.
I was gonna say, throw it in the round robin.
And one more. Andre Feely plus 142.
Same night,
Same
same
night.
card.
And he has a great
Are
nickname.
these
His nickname's Touchy Feely.
I don't know if it's a great nickname. It's a funny ass
It's a
nickname. I don't
great,
know if I'd
great
like.
nickname. Yeah.
You
So
know what? He could never be a teacher.
no, definitely not. Andre Feely.
You can't be a you can't be a teacher with the name Touchy Feely.
Or like a definitely like a daycare teacher. That's not a
No, you can't. Doesn't work. Is this pay per view?
no. Free.
Oh, it's just straight up ESPN. Okay.
Yeah. Bruna Brazil. Bruna Brazil, I saw her in the Contender Series, and I started following her on Instagram just so I would not miss a fight of hers and just, like, always remember the name because she is that talented. I've only done that with, like, 3 people, and she's a stud. She's fighting this
She's
little Thai
okay.
fighter who just wants to clinch all the time, and, she's just not gonna let her get close.
I love it. All right, Jared, what else you got, man? Anything else? Oh, real fast too, golf. The golf league, the infamous golf league starts tomorrow, Thursday, with the waste management. Mr. Hammercock and I will be talking about golf weekly with everybody here on the board meeting presented by Team Hammercock. Our first pick this week is Matt, Matt Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
We're going here's why. I wish David could be here to help explain it, but this golf tournament does not have a big purse. Last year the purse was $20 million. It was an elevated event. This year the purse is $8.8 million, which is about 23rd out of the 28 tournaments. It went from one of the highest paid tournaments to one of the lowest paid tournaments. Really makes no sense. So because of that, we're not trying to use a big dog. We're just using so we want a guy that can win, but it ain't that big of a deal. And somebody like Matt Fitzpatrick, big name. I don't think we used him once last season when we came in ninth, and I don't foresee us using him in any of the elevated events or the Masters or the major, any of the other majors, I should say. So Matty Fitzpatrick, baby. Hopefully, whenever y'all see this, he's got a 3-shot lead heading into Saturday's round.
Awesome.
So Jared, sorry to keep you up so late, man. I know it's way past your bedtime. It's 2 a.m., by the way. If anybody was wanting to know, for you guys,
This is what we do.
do
This is what we do for our fans. 2 a.m. I have to wake
we
up at
do.
5 a.m. to go to work to pretend like I know what I'm
Yeah,
doing at my job.
I have no responsibilities. Jared has 4 children. David has a lot of stuff going on with his job. So we get this done when we can get it
Yeah,
done.
we do it for
So,
you.
anyways, do it for you guys. All right, shout out to Jacques
Jaft
and Beebs.
and BB Sorrel.
And Vivi Sorrel, man. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoy your hats. And yeah, man. All right, that's all we got. Go Super Bowl. Until next time, man.
Go Niners,
Jared,
baby.
Go Chiefs. Bye.